To be honest with you, I don't much like social distancing. I don't think any of us do, although I think there is a little part of us, the part of us that likes our own personal space, that doesn't mind staying 2 meters away from strangers. For me, I don't just dislike social distancing, I positively resent it. I'll do it and I'll encourage you to do the same because I don't want to be responsible for potentially causing someone's death. And there isn't really any alternative. But there's no way in the world that I will ever be able to see it as normal or even as a new normal. The whole thing about seeing another person as a danger that needs to be kept away from and encouraging children to see it the same way is, I think, a problem that if we don't get this virus under control soon, we will be suffering from for a very, very long time. The reason I'm saying this is that the mystery of God that we celebrate today, the mystery of the Holy Trinity, tells us who are made in God's image and likeness that the most basic unit of society is not the individual. Individuals are important, individuals are unique and irreplaceable, but at the end of the day, we belong with each other. Every single one of us, whether we live on our own, whether we feel we have no one to turn to, whether we prefer our own company, we all belong to a community. None of us were born out of nothing. We all had at least two people having to get together in order just for us to be born. And so that's why we experience loneliness. That's why we miss our friends and our family. That's why we fall in love. Because at the very heart of who we are, we carry within each of us the divine spark of God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the ultimate community. Now, there can be times when, like with the clicker on our gas hob, that spark can fail to ignite. There can be things that happen that can damage our sense of belonging and our closeness to one another. And by that, I'm not talking about social distancing, as you and I both know that this will be something that will not last forever. But there can be other things that can endure for longer and be even more pervasive, and that can be incredibly destructive of our sense of humanity. And one of those things, as we've seen over the last week or so, is the sin of racism. The very idea that our respect and our behaviour towards each other might be affected by the colour of our skin is something that is completely at odds with what it means to be human, let alone to be a Christian. Yet why have we tolerated it for so long? The COVID crisis is not good. Millions of people will have died and many lost their livelihoods. But as it reveals things that have previously been covered and exposes things that have previously been hidden and exhibits things that we have previously taken for granted, may we realise that we belong to each other, that we depend on each other, and that every single one of us, no matter who we are or what we are, share in one human race. We're all created in the image of God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.